Torah from the Talmidim of Rabbi Herbert Zatzal. Enjoy. We're getting pretty close to Shavuos. When Shavuos? Oh, next week, Tuesday night. Tonight's Wednesday night, June 5th, 2024. We have some very special stories, and I hope there's more here than just Yerucham Shalom, because the stories are very impressive, and they're things that people know. Yisrael Zev. Where's Yisrael Zev? Dovi. Okay, nobody's here except Yerucham Shalom. Yerucham Shalom, 7 months old. We have a guest here on our show today. What is your name?
Shorasha.
And what school do you go to?
Weitzner.
Cheder. What language do they speak in the school?
Yiddish.
And so Yisrael Zev is going to be very excited because 2 of his Gedolim are going to be in the story over here. Rav Mordechai Gifter Zatzal, and I'm sure Yisrael Zev can tell you a lot more about Rav Mordechai Gifter, like the year he was born, how old he was.
1916.
What? 1916? He was born 1916?
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
He was in Nifta when he was 86.
What's up with that? He was Nifter when he was 86. What else?
He became the leader when he was 50.
He became a leader when he was 50.
And
Leader of, okay.
he was Nifta by the 27th of Teves.
He was Nifter on the 27th of Teves. This comes from Yisrael Zev. And he says...
He did something in 1976.
And he did something in
I don't
1976.
know what he did.
And you don't know what he did. Okay, now, how old are you?
5.
Okay, you're 5. Yisrael Zev is 5 years old. And he did, we'll see. So we have a year that stands out right now, 1976. The year he was born, 1916. This all comes from Yisrael Zev. And he was Nifter at the age of 86. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And he became a leader at the age of 50. So we'll see what that means.
And he was Nifta by the 27th of Teves.
And he was Nifter in the 27th day. So I'm about to say the story. But before I do, I want to go ahead and check if I want to check, I'm going to say it in a second. I want to check if you're correct in all that. Because if you are, that's quite amazing. Oh, okay, 1 second. 1 second. You're very close. But Gifter was born October 15th, 1915 in Portsmouth, Virginia. Okay, so either that card has it wrong or this has it wrong. And he was Nifter January 18th, 2001. Okay, that comes from Wikipedia. It could be that Wikipedia doesn't have it right, but let's just go through this again. He was an American Haredi rabbi. He was the Rosh Yeshiva of the Telz Cleveland in Cleveland. And he had 6 children, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. There's Benjamin Gifter. I don't know anything about the check. Shmuel Zalman Gifter, Yisrael Gifter, Shlomis Eisenberg, Kassia Reisman, Luba Rachel Foyer. And the parent is Yisrael Gifter. Okay, he began being Rosh Yeshiva in 1964. Okay, so now, let's say he was born 1916, like you said. So it's 26, 36, 46, 56. And that means he would have been 48 when he became the Rosh Yeshiva. Now, You said he became leader when he was 50. What you also have to do is look at see, if you look at the Hebrew birthday, it's the same thing. October of 1915, that's basically the same Hebrew year as your year 1916. Okay? So, I don't know. I have to think about it. All right, so let's say he was born that year. And let's say he was... And if he began late in 1964, we could get 48 to fit into 60, because you can get it to work out. He was born in Portsmouth, Virginia. He was raised in Baltimore, Maryland, where his father owned a grocery. He attended the Baltimore City Public Schools, at the time being known as Max. Did you know that? He was known as Max when he was in public school. And he received his religious education in after-school programs. He had a younger brother and sister. Okay, as a young man, Gifter studied in the Rabbi Isaac, so he went to YU under Moshe Soloveitchik. Now, at the time, Rabbi Victor Miller was also a Baltimore native. He was learning in Riot.
Who was the second gadol?
This Rabbi Victor Miller. That's the second gadol. Okay, now, let's go. Okay, tell me about Rabbi Victor Miller.
He was born in 1908.
Born 1908. Okay.
I don't know when he was in Nifter.
You don't know when he was Nifter. Okay.
No, I don't know what age he was Nifter.
You don't know what age he was Nifter. Okay.
I don't know when he became the leader.
You don't know when he became the leader. Okay.
I don't know when he was Nifter.
Okay. You don't know when he was Nifter. Okay.
And I don't even. And the only thing that I know is he was born in 1908. Nothing else.
Okay, fine. He was born 1908. At the time, Rabbi Victor Miller was also a Baltimore native. He was learning in RIETS. He traveled in 1932 to Lithuania on the same boat as Rabbi Miller. Okay, they were on the same boat. Rabbi Gifter, they were on this boat, 1932. You have Rabbi Gifter and Rabbi Victor Miller. They're on the same boat, traveling to Lithuania to study in Telz Yeshiva. Rabbi Gifter was immediately accepted for admission and placed in advanced classes. Again, this comes from Wikipedia. He developed a strong bond with Zalman Bloch, the Mashkiach. At the yeshiva, he eventually became engaged to Rabbi Bloch's daughter. In 1939, prior to his wedding, Rabbi Gifter returned home to the United States to visit his parents in Baltimore. He planned on returning to Lithuania for his wedding and to resume his studies. When it became obvious that he would be unable to return due to the political climate of the late 1930s, Rabbi Gifter arranged for his bride's family to join him in the United States. Only his bride came. The family chose to the wedding. They were stuck in Lithuania. The family chose not to abandon their community in its time of greatest need. The Gifters married in Baltimore. Wikipedia talks about the last name, but Rabbi Gifter got married in Baltimore with Mrs. Gifter's family still in war-torn Lithuania. One of the witnesses at Rabbi Gifter's wedding was Bernard Lander, who was then a rabbi in Baltimore and later a founder of Truro College. Shortly thereafter, Rabbi Gifter was appointed to the pulpit of the New Sachari Shul. In northwest Baltimore. In addition to his rabbinic position, Rabbi Gifter was appointed an adjunct lecturer at the expanding Ner Yisrael. Who here knew that? Did anybody know that? Hello, can you just get the phone?
I can't because we have to follow it again.
I don't even know if people know enough to appreciate that.
To what?
That Rabbi Gifter was a Magid Shir at Ner Yisrael. I never knew that. Everyone associates him with Telz.
I thought you told us that.
No, he's Telz.
My Gifter is associated with Telz.
headed by Rabbi Ruderman. He was the first native Baltimorean to lead a congregation in the city. In 1941, Rabbi Gifter moved to Waterbury, Connecticut. Can you get the phone, please, because it's constantly interrupting.
Sylvia?
Thank you.
He moved to Waterbury. That city was like founded by Baruch Levine just a few years ago, but Rabbi
Good night.
Gifter was there 100 years ago.
Okay, good night, Alvin.
Good night.
I'm studying for finals. So I'm up. In my room.
1941, Rabbi Gifter moved to Waterbury, Connecticut, and assumed the rabbinic pulpit in that community. In 1944, Rabbi Gifter moved to Cleveland, Ohio, to join the faculty of his alma mater, the newly reestablished Rabbinical College of Telz, which was moved from Telz, Lithuania, to Cleveland. The original school and Telz community were almost completely destroyed by the Nazis and Lithuanian military. In 1964, he was appointed as a dean together with Rabbi Baruch Sorotskin, which Rosh Yeshiva. In 1977, Rabbi Gifter brought 20 students from Cleveland to Israel and opened to Eretz Yisrael and opened a branch of the college in the town of Kiryat Yerim Telstone, leaving Sorotskin in charge of the Cleveland campus. The college here probably means yeshiva. In addition to teaching his students, Rabbi Gifter delivered a shir on the Minchas Chinuch on Fridays in Yerushalayim, attracting many Talmidei Chachamim. Notes from that shir were eventually compiled in a sefer called the Pitei Mincha. When Rabbi Sorotskin was nifter in 1979, Rabbi Gifter was sent back to the United States to lead the Cleveland campus, and the Israeli branch closed. From that point on, Rabbi Gifter moved into small quarters in the students' dormitory. He moved into the dorm. Rabbi Gifter moved into the dorm, eschewing his on-campus residence. He purportedly did this due to his distress at a feeling compelled to live in Galus. For many years, Rabbi Gifter led the Moetzes Gedolei HaTorah of Aguda. He maintained a relationship with his first faculty position at Ner Yisrael, Baltimore, returning to Baltimore annually to visit his daughter and son-in-law and friends. Rabbi Gifter died in 2001, having suffered numerous ailments for many years prior to his death. He was eulogized by David Barkin, among others. Rabbi Gifter was survived by his wife, 3 sons, and 3 daughters. As a leading Haredi rabbi, Rabbi Gifter frequently addressed controversial topics, it says here. In one lecture, he sharply berated we'll go on to the next one. Oh, wow. Wow. This is wow. I'm not going to read it right now, but it's a tremendous chiddush. Okay, we're going on to the next thing.
He ate my shoe, and now my whole shoe is broken.
It looks like he defended the Steinsaltz Gemara in at least a roundabout way. Rabbi Gifter was a prolific writer. As a young man, he authored articles in some of the most complicated issues in Jewish law, which were published in the Talmudic Law Journal of Tzvi Pesach Frank. He published numerous books on Jewish law, philosophy, halacha, hashkafa, theology, and chumash. He was a frequent contributor to many journals and once wrote an article for the Western Reserve University Law Review. Among his books in Hebrew, the Pirkei Torah, which is a commentary on the Chumash. Perhurei Tshuva, a commentary on the Rambam, Hilchas Tshuva. Pitei Mincha, commentary on the Minchas Chinuch. Pirkei Ion, commentary on Masechta Makos. Pirkei Moed, that's on the Yom Tovim. And in English, Torah Perspectives, an essay on a variety of topics. And Pirkei Torah, it says here in the English commentary on the Bible.
There's one in the bathroom.
The next 10-minute segment on Rabbi Avigdor Miller has been removed for now. Back to Rav Gifter from Mishpacha.com. This 35-minute segment has been removed for now, and we now go on to the final segment, which is a really geschmack story. But before we get there, one cute story about a Pnei Yehoshua.
Rav Foyer shares a story that he heard at the Shiva following Rav Frankel's passing. Rav Frankel grew up, and it could be Rav Frankel. It could be either one. He grew up in Yerushalayim and poverty was rampant. Every day his mother would give him a grush to buy a drink. But while learning in yeshiva, he developed a great cheshek for the Sefer Pnei Yehoshua. He entered a Sfarim store and asked the owner how much it would cost to buy a Pnei Yehoshua. The price was well beyond his affordability. So he went to his friends who also received a daily coin for a drink and said, we don't need such big drinks. Let's get smaller drinks and use the extra money toward a Pnei Yehoshua. Each day they would bring the remainder of their money to the Sfarim store, and the owner would tear out one page of the Pnei Yehoshua and sell it to them. The owner is destroying the sefer. But, okay. Eventually they succeeded in buying all the pages and bound them together into a complete sefer. Another impact, the owner probably was like an angry owner. I don't know. Was he like a tear? Here's the story that I love.
The boys are going to listen.
Okay, Ragil Hayahagaon Hagada Rav Mordechai Gifter Zatzal. Rav Mordechai Gifter regularly would go with the Rosh Yeshiva of Telz in Cleveland, the Saper out. He was accustomed to speaking about a trip that he had with the Rosh Yeshiva Haggadah of Avraham Yitzchak Bloch Zatzal. Everybody left. This was what I was waiting for, and everyone left.
What?
Midday Yom. He would go for, I guess, a day. Kasher Mordechai Zatzal Zoicha L'Islavus Elam. And Mordechai was Zoicha to accompany him on his trip. Teals at this trip, Rav Gifter said, Hayam Yisnahal B'domeh. I think that means there was just total silence. I think that's what that means. If someone understands modern Ivrit, we could. But either way, that's okay. It was total silence. Yeah, there was total silence. Only when the Rosh Yeshiva opened up with words, I would answer him according to the question he asked me. So Pamachas, one time, Pana Ilah, he turns to me, for Amar, and he says, Ke'es ola b'daiti. It just went up in my mind. Shekashir agilal olam ha'emes, when I go up to the world of truth, lo akabel schar limud Masechta Nedarim. I'm not going to get any reward for learning Masechta Nedarim. Why not? He's going to get reward for all the other Masechtas. Why not Masechta Nedarim? We have one Talmud who left. One Talmud. Kevin sheyeshli oneg gadol ba'olam hazeh, because I enjoy it so much in olam hazeh from the learning of the parish of the Ran. All the other Masechtas, for the most part, have the parish is Rashi. But in Nedarim, it's written parish Rashi, but we don't really know if it's Rashi. So in yeshivas, we learn the parish Ran. He says he gets so much hana from learning the Ran, he doesn't know if he's going to get any schar in Olam Haba. The story is this is just the beginning of the story, but if he's worried about reward, then the whole story kind of, it's a kasha. But anyways, Anisilo, I answered him, Adrabo, it's just the opposite. It's possible that because of this, notzim schar gadol yoser, you're going to get even more schar on Nedarim than any other Masechta. Because the enjoyment, the oneg that you get from learning the Ran, it comes after an enormous amount of toiling and amelus. And one that learns like that, magia lo schar harbe, he will receive a lot of schar. Rosh HaYeshiva Mesaper Rav Gifter. So Rosh HaYeshiva said to him, Chayecha b'koyres ruach v'hemshech b'tshila. He said, what I think that means is, whatever he said, it was like it wasn't much of a response. It sounds like it was in a cold spirit, and then they went back to silence. The silence continued. Hemshech v'chayecha chayecha b'koiras ruach. So, all right. So it didn't sound like, okay, fine, I hear. It sounded like he disagreed, but that was that. Okay, liyamim, after a period of days, Matzah Rav Gifter found shedvarim, these words, Kema'at mefurshim b'divrei Rabbeinu Avraham min hahar l'masachta nedar. These words were explicitly written by Rabbeinu Avraham min hahar to Masechta Nedar. And V'zel Shono, this is what he said. Aval mitzvahs limud, the mitzvah of learning, shehu inyan tzir halev, the idea ha'emes, which draws the heart, and knowing the truth. Ikar hatzivoy hu kedei l'tzayer ha'emes. The main commandment is l'tzayer, means usually to draw, like with a pen, but I think it's to draw the truth. To be drawn, it could be to draw on the truth. Aneg, and to enjoy the lihanos, get hana, pleasure. The madal samech levavo v'sichlo. Now it's the happiness of his heart and his seichel. Like it's written, Pekudei Hashem Yisraim Misamchei Lev. Those that serve Hashem upright, it gladdens their heart. And Mishum Hachi, because of this, an Avel is Aser Likros B'Torah. He's forbidden to read in the Torah, Nevi'im and Ksuvim. Mipnei she'em mesamchim libo al karka. That's why we don't learn on Tisha B'Av, because they make the heart happy. Hilchach, therefore, lo shaykh l'meimar b'mitzvahs tamlid to lo nisan li'anos. It's not shaykh to say by the mitzvah of learning that it wasn't given for hana. She'ikra mitzvasu hi hana. The main mitzvah is hana, the oneg b'ma shemasig, and to delight in that which you've grasped, umevin b'limudo, and to understand your learning. I know Rav Yochanan's wife Shlita has said, it's been said that he said there's a machlokis between the Baal Shem Tov and Rav Chaim Volozhin regarding learning Lishma. This seems to be taking the mahalach of Rav Chaim Volozhin. Ashkech to all those that have listened, and have a good night.
You've been listening to Torah from the Talmidim of Rabbi Herbert Zatzal.